It's just a coach who is trying to cover his shame. Coming out to say over your dead body, Liverpool is not going to win the league. Have you done your homework? Have you done your assignment? It is not about coming out.
No, no, he did not say Liverpool is not
Yes,
going to win. He
that's what I'm
said
saying.
over his dead body
Over
for them
his
to
dead
give up.
body. What actually entails is that over his dead body that is going to hand over the league to Liverpool. It is not enough for you to come out and begin to say some certain statement. We know he's trying to boost the morale of the players, but apart from you trying to boost the morale of your players, have you done your homework? So the first work shouldn't be said, it shouldn't be something you say outwardly, it should be something you have done secretly, your homework, which Arteta has failed to do this season. He keep coming to give the people, the Arsenal fans, excuses every year. Now and then he keep giving us excuses. After the first season, he lost that league to Manchester City, which people saw that it was narrowly lost. People were thinking that the following season, Arsenal is going to take the league from the hands of Manchester City. He came in the second season after the high hopes and all the rest of that. He still showed that he is not competent enough to wrestle the league out of the hands of Man City. Now, this season, that many were saying that, oh, it's clearly Arsenal's season. Manchester City narrowly escaped last season. You still find a way of losing it to Liverpool. So which one are you coming to say over your dead body and over your sleeping body? To me, that doesn't count. It's all shenanigans. Do your work and keep and be silent. I don't even like people coming out to begin to speak too much. Just do the basics and get the league. That's all.
All right. But as an Arsenal fan, yeah, how disappointing would it be if, I'm just saying if, Arsenal does not go on to winning the Champions League?
You know, they shout all about Arsenal, Mikel Arteta, how prolific the Arsenal team is, how Arsenal team is world beaters and so on. It's just because Arsenal still have the hope of winning the Champions League. But let's not forget that if peradventure Arsenal doesn't win the Champions League, it's a failed season. And I think that the money that has been spent under the reign of Mikel Arteta has not actually brought results for the Arsenal team. So while many people are just relaxed, they are just calm. Many people are not shouting, many are not crying because why? They still have the hope of winning the Champions League. But I keep asking every Arsenal fan all over the world, you keep talking about you concentrating on the Champions League and not being concerned about the Premier League. What about teams that have won trebles? Manchester City did it. Manchester United did it. There are so many teams that has won.
Do you think the Arsenal side is that team that is capable of winning the treble?
Mentality. It talks about mentality. Because you talk about the Arsenal team that is playing in Champions League, it's different from the Arsenal team that is playing in the Premier League. I talk about mentality. And see, there are areas the Arsenal people and the Arsenal board need to sit down and actually correct. You can't keep giving the fans excuses of having injuries. Every season you keep giving excuses of getting injuries. There should be mechanism. There should be plan put in place to see how they can actually cope these boys from having injuries. Now let me explain to you.
But these injuries I talked about is not his fault per se, you know. And it's also affecting the Arsenal side. It's actually affecting them. So you will not give, Mikel Arteta a little bit of slack because
Okay,
okay, go with these players. You understand?
Most of the injuries gotten by these Arsenal players are answers.
Okay.
It is avoidable. I was reading about Javier Zanetti. He had only 40. He just missed 49 games in his entire career. 49 games.
Yeah.
These players, if you see, one of the ways to cope these injuries, hamstring. You have to work in the gym. The people, they are not working seriously in the gym because hamstring can actually be stopped. It's not as if it's this normal injury you can have. If it is hamstring, there are mechanisms you can use in stopping it. How can you tell me that the entire team is having hamstring? It's alarming. If it is ACL, it's a different thing, but hamstring is something that can be stopped. Even there are some injuries that the club, listen.
So basically the coaching, the tactics and everything, the physicality of the side, you feel like they are training too much or something.
Let me explain something people fail to understand. Most of the work is half done on the pitch.
Okay.
But 90% of the work is done in the gym. It's done in the gym. If you want a player to increase in speed, it is done in the gym. You want a player to be strong. Not okay, for example, look at Kai Havertz.
Yeah.
Kai Havertz is just like a paper. You can easily be pushed away. Because why? It's not doing, they do little in the gym. If you work so hard in the gym, this something can be avoidable. How can you tell me a season where a club had 29 injuries? 29 injuries, yet the season is not yet over. 29 injuries, the highest of any team. It's alarming. Yeah. So there should be mechanism. Let me explain something. Let me bring you back to memory lane. There was a time when Robin Van Persie was in Arsenal. He was more or less an hospital player. He was going to hospital week in, week out. But when he signed for Manchester United, he played that season without injuries. So it is not enough. Sometimes we talk about dieting. These players should know what to eat and what not to eat. For example,
Yeah,
Cristiano
go on.
Ronaldo, there are some of them they do not eat beef. If you want to last, okay, look at Cristiano Ronaldo. He does more in the gym, even at 40, going to 41. Look at him, still working so hard. Most of these Arsenal players are not actually doing it in the gym. That's why whenever they before now they jam a physical team.
So wait. So hold on. Let me get you. Is it that you want Mikel Arteta to work on these boys to do lots of work
Yes,
in the gym
the
more?
gym has to do more. It will actually help the team to avoid injuries. These are things
Wow.
that people don't know. These are things that people don't know.
Mm.
It is not all about assembling the boys. But when you go to gym, I gave you a story of Javier Zanetti that just missed 49 games of his entire career. There are players. Okay, let's talk about what's the name? Jordan Williams. Jordan Williams in Atletico Bilbao. He had just gone injured once in his career. He has just gone injured once in his career. And for a coach, you want to win trophy. You should also avoid players that are injury prone. Before Arsenal signed Calafiori, they know the injury history, they know the records. It's not about signing a player that this player is good. He can add something to your team. He can actually make your team better. Is this player always available? That is one thing you should know. Before you sign a player, check his injury records. If the injury records of the player is alarming, you avoid him.
All right. No.
You avoid him and keep giving flimsy excuses.
All right. No problem. You know, just that you see this injury. Hold on. You see this injury stops there, man. I remember Ian Robben.
Yeah.
Ian Robben was also an injury prone, so to speak, in Chelsea. But going to the Bayern Munich side, he became so steady. You know, so some things like that could it can happen. Some things can happen. You understand? Somebody that's an injury prone here might come to this place and not become an injury prone. But it is what it is. Now let's talk about Martin Odegaard. I mean, Martin Odegaard has not really been the Martin Odegaard of last season and 2 seasons, and I feel like that's also one of the reasons why the Arsenal side are suffering. You know, so your thoughts on that? Would you say that one is down to Mikel Arteta this time?
8 is the number 8 man. His jersey number in Arsenal is number 8. He has 8 assists and 8 goals this season. It's very poor for a creator in the chief of Martin Odegaard. It's very poor. Let's call a spade a spade. Has Arteta giving these players competition? No. And this was the same thing we were complaining during the time of Arsene Wenger. These players have to earn their place on the field of play, whether you're a captain or not. If you cannot deliver, you go to the bench. Have you given Martin Odegaard competition? Okay, he just had injury. After coming back from injury, Martin Odegaard has become a shadow of himself. How many times has he created for the team? So this white shirt of Martin Odegaard and all the rest of them is not actually doing his primary job. The only thing you can tell me that Martin Odegaard does well in the team after coming from injury is a tireless runner. But for a team to want to win trophy, I listen to Arsenal people talking about Arsenal not having a striker. Arsenal not having a striker. But Arsenal has scored over 100 goals in 3 straight seasons. It shows that this team scores goals.
Yeah.
So what is the problem of this team? As you're talking about having a prolific striker, you also talk about a chief creator. And this is one area that even Mikel Arteta is not looking at. And if they sort the attacking problem of Arsenal and decide not to sort the problem of the creative aspect of Arsenal, it will spell doom for this team. There should be competition. Look at Liverpool for crying out loud. They have the likes of Diego Jota, they have Luis Diaz, they have Gakpo. They have numbers. When you talk about attack, even the one that misses chances. But in Arsenal, you see the likes of Martinelli playing week in, week out. You see the likes of Odegaard, whether he's in form or not.
Well, Leandro Trossard, Martinelli, Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz, Raheem Sterling.
It's a misplaced priority. Let me explain something to you. Why I will still blame Arteta for not winning this league, I will still tell you why. Number one, you have shortage in numbers. And yet the players that could actually, let's say they are not a mainstay in the team. Let's talk about players that can actually cover up when the main people are not there. You sold them out. One of the players that I felt that even when Odegaard was injured, that would have stepped in comfortably in that position, that Arteta sold out, gave out on loan. Pablo Vieira is creating it, he's doing it in Portugal. And I keep saying it over time. If you don't give these players this chance, when you need them, they will not be able to deliver. Now, many people are singing the praises of Kivio. Was Kivio given an ample time to actually become what he is today? No. There are some matches you have to rest these players. You talk about the injury of Bukayo Saka. These players were being overused. You talk about Martin Odegaard, he should keep see, even if the person is not up to his level, at least a step below his level. Yet you carry Pablo Vieira, you throw him out to Porto. He's doing it very well in Porto. And when Martin Odegaard when had injuries, there was
All right,
nobody. He had the opportunity to
all right,
bring
no,
this guy back from loan.
no wahala,
He
no
left
wahala.
Sterling in the team.
Mr.
So
Olu,
Odegaard has not covered himself in glory. Truly.
mi- all right, no wahala, Mr. Olu, don't worry. We'll go see dissect more of Arsenal matters, and thank you so much.